Hi, I'm Alex McCord and welcome to The Real Deal on TheStir.com. Today we've got last night's premiere of a brand new show, Leah Remini's It's All Relative on TLC, as well as Real Housewives of New Jersey premiere gossip and how the Giudice sentencing delay is likely throwing a monkey wrench into the process. First, let's talk Leah Remini. What a character. Whew. For those who didn't already know her, here's a quick primer. Leah starred on the sitcom The King of Queens for about a decade and was an original cast member on The Talk on CBS. Leah was also pretty much a lifelong Scientologist who left the church along with her family in 2013 and was ostracized and publicly attacked by celebrity church members. After leaving Scientology and being shamed and trashed in the media, she had to start all over. So first she did Dancing with the Stars last fall. Next, she did a good guest run on TV Land's The X's earlier this year, and now she's got a reality show with her family on TLC. It's a season of 12 half-hour episodes, and it looks like what TLC is doing is airing 2 episodes each week, which puts it finishing either around mid-August or by Labor Day if they stretch it out a bit. Leah is an executive producer on the show, so she's definitely going to have very loud input, if not the final word, on the content. The final word, of course, going to TLC. So, if you watched, what did you think? Now, of course, I'm going to tell you what I thought. The show is very, very clever. It actually makes fun of a lot of the things we talk about here on The Real Deal every day. First, Leah knows that everybody watching is going to compare her to her character on The King of Queens, so she embraces it. She calls herself a ball-busting, sassy wife. Leah also knows that everyone's more recent impressions of her are all tied up with the Scientology nonsense, and she embraces that too. In one of the first confessional interviews, Leah bluntly states that we left Scientology and are being shunned by our friends. Sitting next to her on the couch, Leah's husband Angelo goes even further to say we were beheaded. Ouch. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about those confessional interviews and all those behind-the-scenes elements that make up reality shows. On this show, they show them all. In fact, it has to be really satisfying for fellow reality stars to watch this show because Leah and her family blatantly talk about and show all the things that you're not supposed to talk about and show when you make reality TV. You see the cameras, and during confessionals, they often pan back to a wide shot where you see the crew, the reflectors, the lights, the makeup, everything. They converse about the cameras and address them, breaking the fourth wall all the time. At one point, Leah asks her mother whether she's prepared to be in a bathing suit on camera and how much money it would take for her to do it, which devolves into a conversation about what is and isn't fair game to film. And they do this while they are filming. Now, we're seeing a conversation that reality stars have with their producers all the time, although it's usually over drinks or coffee and not on camera, except in this case, it's all on camera. Angelo, the husband, begs the crew to stop filming him because he's walking on forbidden carpet with shoes, and they go right ahead and keep shooting anyway, which is a sly nod to the whole talent versus crew fight of, please don't film me, oh, we're gonna film you anyway. They're mocking the talent's lack of control. And at one point, the stepdad asks the camera crew to film flight paths over his head for reasons nobody can understand, but they do it, showing the entire production crew in the process. This is a show that knows it's a show, which is refreshing after all the housewives shenanigans. They even made fun of producer suggestions and engineering. The second 30-minute episode of the night featured Leah's mother throwing herself awake, where the family has to pretend she's dead and write her eulogies. They all play along, but as they get up to speak, everyone but the sister gets really emotional and they all start crying and realize that they went way too far. Leah hysterically says to the camera, "Is this TLC's idea of feel-good television?" I almost died right along with Mama. They totally skewered the concept of producers suggesting fun group activities to film. I'm going to go ahead and say that was on purpose. The basic cast of characters, besides Leah herself, are her 9-year-old daughter, her husband Angelo, who sings the theme song in the opening credits, and her mother, stepdad, and sister, plus a British nanny with a crush on the husband, and various celebrity cameos such as Dancing with the Stars people, RuPaul, and TV actors with whom she's worked over the years. And I appreciate that they're also upfront that pretty much every primary cast member is or was an actor. Leah's obviously the successful one, but all of them are comedians. Now, here comes the critical part. Occasionally, it got a little too clever. Out of all the snappy one-liners and comebacks, most of the extended family were really natural. It was Leah that a few times I thought was a little too rehearsed, a little too sitcom-y. We got to get out of the sitcom and into reality. I kind of found Leah was switching back and forth between being completely off the cuff and natural to occasionally having a few lines that sounded like comedic bullet points, like discussing the birds and the bees with her mother's dog. We're only 2 episodes in, so I am hoping that she relaxed into the process a little more as they went along. Her mother is clearly already there, and my favorite thing so far is that she mispronounces words. She says the right word, but it often sounds like something else. For example, high-class hoarder sounds like high-class whore. Enamored comes out I'm hammered while she's at a cocktail party. All of these things are very, very clever, and I like it. They could probably wink at themselves a hair less and relax a hair more, but for a premiere, I thought it was great. What did you think? Moving on, let's discuss a little Real Housewives of New Jersey premiere dish. As Housewives fans will certainly know, Season 6 of New Jersey comes back this Sunday, July 13th. And members of the press are complaining that Teresa Giudice is not answering any questions about her fraud case or guilty plea. I have to tell you, this is exactly what I thought would happen. Bravo have to be quietly annoyed that the Giudice sentencing was pushed back from the originally scheduled date of July 8th. If it had happened on schedule, Teresa would now be free to talk and promote the show. She would know what was happening and be able to share all that news while simultaneously promoting Housewives. As it is, her hands are tied. Contractually, she's obligated to do press. Legally, she doesn't want to say a word in the public eye for fear that the outcome of her sentencing will be affected by something she says. Frankly, Teresa is probably worried about the content of the show now as well. Only she and the producers know everything she said and did while filming this season, and only the producers and the network know what they are going to use. There could very well be something that paints her in a bad light. Lacking remorse, not owning it, etc. Any one of those things could affect her sentencing if the relevant people see it. Although the delay has bought the family more time together, they have to be panicking inside that now the interviews are happening and the show is airing and all of this is getting out to the public before the sentencing. Bravo have to be annoyed that she's clamming up in premiere interviews, but not so annoyed that they let her get out of them. Here's my question for you viewers. Does the Giudice's fraud case make a difference to whether or not you will watch the new season? Are you going to tune in on Sunday or skip it? Let me know what you thought in the comments. For now, I'm Alex McCord. You are watching The Real Deal on thestir.com. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday.